All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trading Indicators Explained, where I go through a whole bunch of indicators that Trade Ideas has and different things that we can do to scan for them and chart with them. If you're interested in Trade Ideas, there's a link always in the description below that will save you a couple bucks and it helps out this channel. So let's get right into today's topic, which is VWAP, so Volume Weighted Average Price. VWAP, not VWAP. I don't know why some people confuse that one, but that's what it is. So the math behind VWAP is very simple, but it's quite a bit for the system to do. But to understand, it's very simple. So it's the average price at which a trade took place over a period of time. So today we're talking about the standard VWAP that actually resets every single day. There's no time frame for this. It clears out after last day's data and it starts again. So we're talking about the average price today. We're going to go over anchor VWAP in a future episode. So again, subscribe and hit the bell and all of those things so you'll be notified when that takes place. Anchored VWAP is a very interesting topic. So again, looking at the average price that the average place that a trade has taken place. What's the average trade? So within Trade Ideas, we can both chart and scan VWAP. Here is Tesla, just with the black line being VWAP, and then we can also scan for VWAP as well, where you can see, actually, get me out of here for a second, you can see that we can scan for things crossing above and below VWAP, deviating from VWAP greatly, as well as the distance between all of these VWAPs. I'll go over more of them again in the anchored VWAP section, but today we're just concerned with this intraday VWAP and what it can be used for and that type of thing. So one of the main usages is trying to figure out who is in control of the market, for lack of a better term. So when I mean in control, I mean what side should you be looking to take? And I know a lot of traders that will say, okay, for an intraday price action, I'm going to be a buyer only if the stock I'm interested in is above VWAP, and I'm going to be a seller only if the stock I'm interested in is below VWAP. And the simplest way to do it is because you are telling yourself, okay, if we're below VWAP and VWAP represents the average place that a trade occurred, then that means if I'm below VWAP, the average buyer is losing money and the average seller is making money, and vice versa. If we're above VWAP, the average buyer is happy and the average seller is unhappy. So you always want to stay on the side of the people who are happier and opposite the side the people who are having trouble. Okay. So that's the first usage, very common one, one that I use myself when I intraday trade. Unless I'm doing a revision to the mean trade, I'm not going to get involved in a stock long that is below VWAP for this reason we talked about here. Support and resistance, where these VWAP can naturally act as a support and resistance line. Without going too far into it, VWAP is something that can be used to reward traders in an institutional side. So for example, if I am selling Tesla today, I could tell my trader, hey, I want you to sell Tesla. You've got 1 million shares, so you're not going to do it in a single order. You're going to have to do it slowly throughout the day. Now, how am I going to wonder whether you got a good job or a bad job? And I'm going to use your VWAP, so your average price of across all of those 1 million shares, and I'm going to compare that to the stock's VWAP. And if you got a better price, then you did well, and if you got a worse price, then you did poorly. So because of that, if I'm looking to, say, buy the stock and I want a better price than VWAP, I'm going to try to defend that price, or I'm going to try to take orders around that price. And that happens both with humans and with algos. It's a very common thing in the market. So you'll notice, if you pay a lot of attention to this, that sometimes this actually acts as support and resistance. As you can see with the two arrows here, on this day on Tesla, VWAP was resistance. You could have waited out the first hour or so and then taken any touch of VWAP after that, and that would have ended up being profitable. And this is one of the most common ways that this is used. So if we go into our desktop here, you can see I just brought up another chart, Facebook. You can see that in every scenario, if you were trying to buy Facebook while it was under VWAP, or sell Facebook when it was over VWAP, it was way harder than to wait for that to clear and to wait to hold above or below. And then if we go in through here, you can see VWAP acted as support here, bled through a little bit, but it was support here, right? Resistance here. You can see a lot of areas where this is drawn to it. But again, if you said, okay, on this day, Facebook's below VWAP, I'm only going to look at the sell side. On this day, Facebook's holding above VWAP, I'm only going to look on the long side. It is a way to make sure that you're trading with that overall trend, which is a way to keep a lot of new traders out of trades. As far as indicators go, you guys know I'm not a big indicator guy, but this one is on all of my intraday charts just because of the power that I've seen it hold over time. So again, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for coming. Again, descriptions for trade ideas and everything below, and I will see you in the next one.